Listen, oh listen. My people, come and sit down very well. Adjust your wrapper, hold your phone tight, because the story I'm about to tell you today, even marriage counselors will remove their glasses. This is the story of Kunle and Linda, a couple who married with love, prayers, and plenty of peace, but somehow found themselves trapped inside their own bedroom by two determined mothers who said, no pregnancy, no freedom. How did love turn into house arrest? Sit down, let me start from the beginning.
I met Kunle at a friend's engagement ceremony. She wasn't loud either. She didn't laugh carelessly or draw attention to herself. She sat quietly, adjusting her dress, smiling politely when spoken to. Kunle noticed her because of her gentleness. When he spoke to her for the first time, she listened. When she replied, her voice was soft. From that day, conversations became frequent. Phone calls that lasted hours, text messages sent before sunrise and answered after midnight. They talked about life, faith, dreams, and the kind of home they wanted. I want a home where there's respect, Linda once said. A home where we pray together, Kunle added. They dated properly. No rushing, no shortcuts. Families were introduced, elders were informed. The engagement was colorful. The wedding was decent and full of joy. People said, these two are well matched. When they finally moved into their home, it felt like a fresh start. Their small apartment wasn't luxurious, but it was clean, warm, and filled with love. Every morning, Kunle prayed before work. Linda prepared his food with care, wrapping it neatly. May God bless your day, she would say, handing him his lunch pack. Evenings were peaceful. They ate together. Sometimes they laughed at silly things. Sometimes they planned the future. Children, a bigger house, vacations they couldn't yet afford. The house was calm. Too calm. Weeks passed. Months followed. 3 months. 4 months. 6 months. No pregnancy. At first, it didn't matter. They weren't worried. Kunle would say, children are from God. When it's time, it will happen. Linda believed him. She trusted God. She trusted her husband. But outside their home, murmurs had started. Neighbors whispered. Friends asked questions that were too personal. Any good news yet? Is Linda okay? Kunle, hope everything is working well. They smiled it off. Inside their home, love still lived, but pressure had started knocking softly, waiting to enter. That afternoon was unusually hot. Linda was in the kitchen, stirring soup slowly, sweat forming on her forehead. Kunle had left early for work as usual. The compound was quiet, too quiet. Then, bam, bam, bam. The loud banging startled her. The spoon fell from her hand. Who is that? She whispered. The gateman rushed forward, adjusting his cap. Would they knock like police? He muttered. Outside stood Mama Kunle, wrapper tied tightly, headscarf firm, face hard. Beside her were 3 big bags, the kind people come with when they are not planning to leave soon. Open this gate now, she shouted. The gateman didn't ask questions. He knew better. As she stepped into the compound, it felt like the atmosphere changed instantly, like peace packed its bags and left. Linda wiped her hands quickly and forced a smile as she stepped outside. Good afternoon, Mama. You're welcome. Mama Kunle looked at her from head to toe. Then she hissed. Keep your greeting. Is greeting what gives children? Linda's smile froze. She tried to laugh it off. Mama, you must be tired. Please come inside. Mama Kunle didn't move. Tired? I should be tired when my mates are carrying grandchildren and I'm empty-handed? People passing outside slowed down. Linda's heart began to beat fast. Since you married my son, what have you done? Mama Kunle continued. You eat his money. You sleep on his bed. Yet, not even one pregnancy. Linda wanted to explain. She wanted to cry. She wanted to disappear. But she stood there quietly, eyes on the ground. When Kunle returned from work later that evening, he met a strange silence. His mother rushed to him immediately, hugging him tightly. My son, my only son, she cried loudly. I was only asking your wife a small question. Kunle sighed. Mama, please, we've only been married for 6 months. She smiled sweetly. And so, should I wait till I die before carrying my grandchild? That night, Linda prepared dinner silently. When she served Mama Kunle, she asked gently, Mama, what else can I offer you? Mama Kunle looked her straight in the eyes and said coldly, Offer me grandchildren, that is all. Linda entered the bedroom and cried quietly into her pillow so Kunle wouldn't hear. Outside, Mama Kunle arranged her bags neatly. She had come to stay, and peace had officially left the house. The next morning had not even fully broken when another knock landed on the gate. Kapam, kapam, kapam. This one was louder, more aggressive. The gateman rubbed his eyes, still sleepy. Waiting be this again. He dragged himself to the gate, opened it halfway, and his heart nearly jumped out of his chest. Mama Linda stood there, wrapper tied boldly, face stern, 2 huge bags beside her, one nylon bag balanced on top like an afterthought. Before the gateman could greet her, she pushed the gate wide open. "Oga, shift, is this my daughter's house or not?" She marched in like a soldier entering enemy territory. Inside the house, Linda was sweeping the living room. The broom slipped from her hand the moment she saw her mother. "Mama?" Mama Linda dropped the bags and pulled her daughter into a tight hug. "My child, are you okay in this marriage?" Linda froze, her eyes instantly watered. Before she could answer, Mama Linda pulled back and examined her closely, her face, her body, her eyes. "You've lost weight," she said sharply. "They are stressing you here." Kunle came out from the bedroom, already sensing trouble. "Good morning, Mama. You are welcome." Mama Linda looked at him slowly, from head to toe. "Keep your greeting," she replied. "Have you gotten my daughter pregnant or not?" The air became heavy. Linda rushed in quickly. "Mama, please, we've only been married for 6 months. Mama Linda laughed, a sharp, mocking laugh. "And so, some women get pregnant before wedding. Some people marry today and children are already crawling tomorrow." Mama Kunle appeared from the kitchen doorway. "And who is this one?" she asked, folding her arms. "Is this how you enter another person's house without notice?" Mama Linda turned sharply. "And who are you to question me? I'm the mother of the wife in this house." That was the moment the house officially turned into a battlefield. From that day, the kitchen was no longer a place for cooking. It became a war zone. Mama Kunle claimed the kitchen every morning. "I will cook for my daughter-in-law," she declared. "I know food that opens womb." She poured pepper like she was punishing the soup. Mama Linda would storm in immediately. "No, move away. I will cook for my son-in-law. If he eats my food, his blood will be strong." Pots clanged, spoons hit plates, salt spilled everywhere. "Why are you adding so much pepper? Why are you using Maggi like this? Is this how you cook in your village?" Arguments started before sunrise and ended late at night. Kunle stopped enjoying food. Linda stopped eating properly. One afternoon, Mama Kunle whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear. "This girl's womb is blocked. Her people did something." Mama Linda slammed the pot down. "Blocked, K? It is your son that is weak. My daughter is fertile." Kunle sat in the living room holding his head. "God, is this my house?" he whispered. Linda cried silently in the bathroom. Neighbors started noticing. Smoke from burnt food, shouting through the windows, 2 old women fighting over frying pan. Peace had fully disappeared. Love was being crushed slowly, and the worst was yet to come. That afternoon, the living room felt unusually tense. The television was on, but nobody was watching. A soap opera was playing, yet real-life drama had taken over the house. The curtains were half drawn, trapping heat inside. Even the air felt angry. Mama Kunle sat on one sofa, legs crossed, arms folded tightly against her chest. Mama Linda sat directly opposite her, spine straight, chin raised. It was like 2 generals preparing for war. Kunle sat in between them, slightly to the side, pretending to scroll through his phone. Linda stood near the doorway, pretending to arrange the curtains. Anything to avoid sitting down. The silence stretched. Then Mama Kunle cleared her throat loudly. "So," she began, eyes fixed on Mama Linda, "how long do we plan to pretend in this house?" Mama Linda didn't blink. "Pretend about what?" she asked calmly. "About the fact that your daughter came into my son's house with an empty womb." Linda gasped softly. Mama Linda stood up immediately. "Empty womb?" she repeated. "You should watch your mouth. My daughter is not barren." Mama Kunle laughed, a dry, mocking laugh. "If she's not barren, then where is the pregnancy?" She turned suddenly and pointed at Linda. "Tell your daughter to give me grandchildren." Mama Linda snapped. "Tell your son to give me grandchildren." The room erupted. "It's your son," Mama Kunle shouted, standing up. "His sperm is weak? Is that what you want to hear?" Mama Linda stepped closer. "You lie. Your son is the problem. My daughter is fertile. It's your lineage that is weak." That was when madness entered fully. Mama Kunle rushed toward Kunle and grabbed him by the trousers. "Stand up. Today you must prove you're a man." Linda screamed. Mama Linda grabbed her daughter by the waist. "Come here. You too. Show them you're a woman." Kunle shouted. "Mama, please. People are watching." Linda broke down completely, crying loudly. Neighbors began gathering outside the window. "Waiting they happen, oh. Now film or real life." Someone tried to knock. The living room turned into chaos. Shouting, crying, accusations flying like stones. That day, dignity left the house. That night, Kunle could not sleep. Linda lay beside him, eyes swollen from crying, facing the wall. The room smelt of tears and unspoken pain. By morning, Kunle knew something had to be done. He called for a family meeting. They all sat around the dining table. No food, no tea, just tension. Kunle cleared his throat. Mama Linda, please, he began softly. This is my home. This is my marriage. Both women looked away. Children are gifts from God. No amount of shouting can force pregnancy. Mama Kunle scoffed. So you want me to fold my arms and watch my mates enjoy grandchildren? Mama Linda added sharply. So I should allow my daughter to be blamed for something that is not her fault? Kunle's voice cracked. You are destroying our peace. For a moment, the room was quiet. 5 seconds. Then both mothers spoke at the same time. God helps those who help themselves. Kunle closed his eyes. Linda held his hand under the table. The meeting ended without solution. The war had only paused, and something worse was waiting.
From that week onward, the bedroom stopped being a place of rest. It became a checkpoint. Every morning, before the cock crowed, before the sky even changed color, Mama Kunle and Mama Linda were already awake. They didn't even greet each other anymore. They just moved with one purpose: pregnancy. By 5:30 a.m., chairs were dragged from the dining table. Grrr. Mama Kunle placed her plastic chair directly in front of the bedroom door, legs wide, wrapper tied like she was ready for battle. Mama Linda followed, bringing a wooden chair and positioning it right beside hers. 2 mothers, 2 chairs, 1 door. They sat there like prison wardens. This room, Mama Kunle said firmly, tapping the door with her knuckle, is where our grandchildren will come from. Mama Linda nodded seriously. No more excuses. Inside the bedroom, Linda was already awake. She hadn't slept properly all night. Her eyes were swollen. Her chest felt heavy. Kunle lay beside her, staring at the ceiling. Linda, Kunle whispered, voice cracked. My own house don't turn police station. Linda swallowed hard. I feel like I can't breathe anymore. At exactly 6:01 a.m., Mama Kunle banged on the door. Bam! Wake up! Are you people praying or sleeping? Kunle checked the time, sighed, and slowly sat up. When he stood to wear his trousers, Where are you going? Mama Linda shouted from outside. Office again? Is office what will give us pregnancy? Kunle froze. Mama, I'll lose my job, he pleaded. Mama Kunle hissed. Job? Did your job marry you? Linda tried to step out to use the bathroom. Enter back, Mama Kunle snapped. Have you conceived yet? Linda's legs shook. She turned back into the room and locked the door, breaking down in tears. Every movement was monitored. If Kunle drank water, water makes sperm weak. If Linda refused food, she doesn't want to carry pregnancy. At night, the women sat outside the door again, whispering loudly on purpose. Tell your son to stop wasting time. Tell your daughter to stop forming holy woman. The bedroom became tight, airless, heavy. Kunle started getting headaches, serious ones. He would hold his head and sit quietly. Linda lost weight. Her dresses became loose. She started flinching at small sounds. Neighbors began gossiping openly. Now those old women don't come for door. Now army barracks be that house? Kunle stopped laughing. Linda stopped talking. Love was being choked slowly, day by day. That Friday evening, Kunle didn't return home. Linda checked the clock again and again. 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Her heart wouldn't settle. She called his phone, no answer. At 9:17 p.m., her phone rang. Madam, please don't panic, a shaky voice said. Your husband collapsed in the office. We're at the hospital. Linda screamed. Her knees gave way. By the time they got to the hospital, Kunle was lying on the bed, weak, eyes half closed. Tubes were attached to him. Machines beeped softly. Mama Kunle cried loudly. My son, I didn't know stress can kill. Mama Linda stood stiff, guilt written all over her face. Doctors ran tests, blood, scans, questions. Finally, the doctor came back. This man is suffering from extreme emotional and psychological stress, he said calmly. If this continues, it can lead to stroke or worse. Silence fell. Then the doctor turned to Linda. Madam, we ran routine tests on you as well. Linda's heart stopped. You are pregnant. For a moment, nobody reacted. Then Linda broke down completely, crying, shaking, laughing all at once. Kunle, weak on the bed, smiled faintly, tears rolling down his cheeks.
"We were already pregnant," he whispered. The doctor raised his hand gently. "But listen carefully," he warned. "Too much pressure can still take this pregnancy away. She needs peace, rest, silence." Both mothers slowly sat down. No shouting, no arguments, no accusations, just guilt. For the first time since they arrived, they were quiet, and in that silence, the truth finally spoke. When they returned home from the hospital, the house felt strange. Too calm, too quiet. No chairs in front of the bedroom door, no shouting from the kitchen, no accusations hanging in the air. Mama Kunle moved slowly now. Her steps were softer. Her voice barely rose above a whisper. Mama Linda avoided eye contact with everyone, especially her daughter. Linda sat on the bed, hands resting on her stomach, still in shock. Pregnant. All those months of pressure, yet life had been growing quietly inside her. Kunle lay beside her, weak but awake. He kept turning to look at her, as if afraid she might disappear. "We almost lost everything," he whispered. "Our love, this child, even my life." Linda's eyes filled with tears. "They didn't know," she said softly, "but they hurt us." That evening, Mama Kunle knocked gently before entering the room. Not banging, not shouting. "Linda," she said quietly, kneeling down slowly. "I'm sorry." Linda froze. Mama Linda followed behind her and also knelt. "We thought we were helping," she said, voice shaking. "We were only hurting you." Linda couldn't hold it anymore. She cried, not loudly, but deeply, the kind of cry that releases months of pain. Kunle reached for her hand. From that day, the house changed. Mama Kunle cooked softly. Mama Linda cleaned quietly. No advice, no pressure, just silence and healing. Linda's pregnancy was not easy. The doctor warned them early. Stress has weakened her body. This pregnancy must be handled gently. Morning sickness became severe. She vomited frequently. Sometimes she couldn't eat all day. Kunle stayed home more often. He followed her to every hospital appointment. He prayed like a man fighting for his life. As months passed, Linda's stomach grew faster than normal. Neighbors began whispering again. "Is it twins? Why is her stomach so big?" At the hospital, the nurse frowned during a scan and called the doctor. The room became quiet. Kunle held Linda's hand tightly. The doctor smiled slowly. "Well, congratulations," he said. "You're not carrying one baby." Linda gasped. "Not two either," the doctor added. Kunle felt dizzy. Triplets. Silence. Then fear. High-risk pregnancy. Strict bed rest. No stress at all. Mama Kunle cried that night. Mama Linda fasted and prayed. This time, nobody shouted. They waited. That night did not announce itself gently. Dark clouds gathered early, and by evening, rain was already pounding the ground like angry drums. Thunder cracked the sky, shaking windows, as if the heavens themselves were involved in what was about to happen. Linda had been restless all day. She couldn't sit, she couldn't sleep. Her back ached in a strange, unfamiliar way. By 10:47 p.m., she suddenly grabbed Kunle's arm. "Kunle," she whispered, fear filling her eyes. "Something is happening." Her wrapper was soaked with sweat. Her breathing became uneven. Kunle panicked. "Mama, Mama," he shouted. Both mothers rushed in. The moment they saw Linda's face, their confidence disappeared. "This is labor," Mama Linda whispered. The drive to the hospital felt endless. Rain beat against the car. Linda cried out in pain. Kunle prayed out loud, his voice shaking. "God, please, don't take her from me." At the hospital, nurses rushed Linda in immediately. Kunle was stopped at the door. "Madam is high risk," a nurse said firmly. "You must wait." The doors closed. Kunle stood there, helpless. Minutes turned into hours. Mama Kunle paced the corridor, muttering prayers. Mama Linda sat down, her hands shaking, tears rolling down her cheeks, silently onto the floor. At 3:42 a.m., a sharp cry sliced through the silence. A baby's cry. Kunle's knees weakened. A nurse came out. "Congratulations," she said. "It's a baby boy." Before joy could fully settle, another cry followed, stronger, clearer. Another nurse appeared. "A baby girl." Kunle laughed and cried at the same time. Then, silence. Too much silence. 10 minutes, 15. Kunle's heart raced. Why are they not talking? He asked, panic rising. Suddenly, a third cry burst out, loud, determined, alive. A third baby, the doctor announced. Another boy. Kunle collapsed to his knees. He didn't care who was watching. He sobbed. 3 children. From pain, from pressure, from silence. When Linda finally woke up, pale and weak, Kunle held her hand carefully. They cried, he whispered. All of them cried. Tears rolled down Linda's face. The war was finally over. When they returned home days later, the house no longer felt like a battlefield. It felt sacred. 3 cribs stood neatly in the room. 3 tiny bodies slept peacefully, unaware of the storm that came before them. Mama Kunle moved slowly now, as if afraid to disturb peace. She would stare at the babies for long minutes, then whisper, "So this is what shouting could not bring." Mama Linda often sat quietly holding one baby, tears rolling down her cheeks one afternoon. "Forgive us," she whispered. "We almost destroyed what we were praying for." Kunle watched everything silently. One evening, he finally spoke. "This house nearly broke us. Pressure almost killed me. Noise almost killed my wife, and love almost died." Both mothers bowed their heads. From that day, rules were set. No interference, no monitoring, no shouting. Linda healed slowly. Kunle smiled again. Laughter returned, soft at first, then full. Neighbors who once mocked now whispered in shock, "Triplets? After all that wahala?" Yes, because life doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to peace. The end. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please kindly subscribe and turn on notification bell so you would be notified whenever I drop interesting stories like this.